Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We got quite a bit to go over today in terms of Call of Duty content. We've got exclusivity news that would have a pretty serious impact on the future of Call of Duty potentially. We actually have some new exclusive content in game, then also some new leaks, some new rumors to go over as well in regards to some more short-term content that we could see here in MW2 and Warzone 2 in the near future. Let's start first though with a pretty important tweet that Charlie Intel reported on yesterday. So they went ahead and posted this tweet. Microsoft's president Brad Smith told CNBC that Sony's current Call of Duty deal ends with Call of Duty 2024. Now, to my understanding, that verbiage, the way that that's phrased, means that Call of Duty 2024, which is going to be the next Treyarch game, presumably, according to the leaks, it might be based around like the Gulf War or something like that set in the 90s, or it could be something else. And those leaks, you know, those rumors were just rumors at the end of the day, right? We're obviously very far out from that happening, but that's the next Treyarch game, Call of Duty 2024. So this would presumably mean that the exclusivity would stop with that game. That would be the last title that has any kind of Sony exclusive content. Now, for years and years and years now, Activision and Sony have had this sort of mutual agreement where basically Sony pays Activision a ton of money that gets them access and gets them guaranteed exclusive content in game. Oftentimes it's early access. For instance, the betas, you know, for the past couple of years has always gone live on PlayStation first. We get that first weekend, it's PlayStation only, and then the next weekend, PC and Xbox and PlayStation can play. We also have certain in-game content, like some that we're going to be talking about in this video in just a moment, that is exclusive, where you get certain blueprints, certain operator skins. Sometimes you get some bonus double XP events. For the most part, the exclusivity now is a lot less important than it was before. You know, way back in the day, you might remember before Sony had an exclusivity deal with Call of Duty, Microsoft had an exclusivity deal with Call of Duty, where Xbox always got the DLCs a month before PlayStation and PC. That was like back in the MW2 days, MW3 days and whatnot. And you know, a month span of exclusivity is a lot more than a day of double XP or a weekend of a beta, right? So it's definitely not as harsh when it comes to the exclusivity time frames, if you will, but in general, there shouldn't be any exclusivity. Everyone should be able to access all the content in the game and play it at the same time, regardless of what platform they're playing on. There's no scenario in which exclusivity is good for anyone except those at the very tops of these companies pocketing and you know, profiting from it. So I'm excited to hear that this could potentially be the end of exclusivity, and here is why. Obviously, in the background right now, we have everything going on with the legal stuff of the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard, where Microsoft is basically trying to take over all of the Activision and Blizzard IPs. That is Call of Duty, that is Candy Crush, that is also Overwatch. Any of the Activision, Blizzard, and King IPs would then belong to Microsoft. However, Microsoft has repeatedly stated and offered, including even publicly just this last week with the physical contract in hand, that they're willing to sign a deal with Sony that guarantees for the next decade that everything Call of Duty wise and you know, the mainstream games would be accessible on PlayStation. They don't want to take away one of the largest earning games and franchises in gaming history from a certain platform. They could just be profiting directly off one of their biggest competitors if they allowed COD to be playable on every single platform. They also just signed a big deal with NVIDIA doing stuff for PC and allowing games to be played there in like their remote GPU thing. I'm not too sure the details on that, but it's cool regardless. Like, Microsoft definitely wants Call of Duty availability to be there long term, and Sony is very much so against it. They don't want their biggest competitor to own a franchise as impactful and as profitable as Call of Duty. But regardless, with their deal set to come to a close here, which is now new news, we previously thought that this deal was going to last for multiple more COD games, and Microsoft already said they would honor any existing deals that Sony had with Call of Duty to, you know, keep that exclusivity if they existed. But if they're coming to a close here with Black Ops 5, 6, 7, whatever you want to call it, Gulf War, the 2024 title, that means that potentially that would be the end of exclusivity, because Microsoft wouldn't have to pay Activision to have exclusive content since they'd own the IP essentially. Now, they could certainly create their own. I don't know if they would or would not. That's, you know, up to them, but it certainly eliminates the need for competition there in the exclusivity field, which could really be a pro and a big W for just the general player base. You don't have to be playing on a certain platform to access certain things. Like, for instance, segueing into the next bit of content here, the newest exclusive Combat Pack is now live in Warzone 2, MW2, and DMZ. Basically, every single season is going to feature one of these exclusive combat packs for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 players, where you can access this for free if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription. You just go into the store on PlayStation and search it up, and you'll get the Combat Pack 2. And this one is actually a really cool one. I think this is probably one of the best combat packs we've ever seen, which is why it sucks that it's exclusive to just PlayStation players. But this comes with a brand new operator skin for the Oni operator called Pyroclast. It's sort of like the samurai looking skin that I think is really cool. There's also the Oni Slasher weapon blueprint, the Oni Carver weapon blueprint. You get a brand new charm, a new calling card, a new emblem, and then also a new sticker as well. That's all sort of Oni and samurai themed here, obviously with the overall theme for season 2 being just like that as well, with Ashika Island and everything going on. So a really cool combat pack, but it is exclusive to just PlayStation players. So if you're on that platform, you can definitely take advantage of that and use those skins in game now. Now, currently in game, we of course have the Path of Ronin event challenges going on, where we can end up accessing the crossbow if of course you didn't glitch it through the offline exploit, which, hey, don't be surprised if you get shadow banned if you do that, because players are probably going to be reporting you for, assuming you have an unlock tool since you have a weapon early. Just a heads up, just a little PSA, but obviously Path of Ronin is there to give us access to the crossbow via all the challenges, and those will be completed next week. That's when all of them will be, available to actually unlock. But apparently, according to Medina's HD over on Twitter, who has data mined some stuff in the past and apparently has once again, we are going to see some new challenges after the end of the Path of Ronin event, and this is supposedly going to happen at Season 2 Reloaded, just basically when that update goes live. That'll give us access to 2 brand new exclusive camos that are, according to Medina's HD, themed around like Cherry Blossom. That's a camo that we've had in a lot of Call of Duties, just as a base camo challenge on the road to the max mastery camo, Dark Matter, Orion, whatever the case may be. We've seen the different Cherry Blossom camos in the past, but it'd just be on theme with what the Season 2 overall theme is again. So we could actually see some new universal camos actually be able to be unlocked via some new in-game challenges, which I love. Something that I've been saying, for the past couple of years is that we need more little sort of grinds like this to keep things interesting, to give us a reason to go and do something specific in multiplayer, even though it's 4, 5, 6, 7 months after launch, to get something that we can use across the board, not some one specific blueprint that probably even doesn't have a great meta build in the grand scheme of things. It might look all right, but it has a terrible build and isn't actually usable. Give me something I can use on every single one of my guns on my best builds, and I can show that off in game and have a cool camo. That's what I want to see. So really cool that apparently we are going to see some new universal camo challenges coming with Season 2 Reloaded. And then to close things out here, just a little follow up or new update on some leaks for new maps here in multiplayer. Obviously we've got the new sort of mountain based hotel resort style map coming with Season 2 Reloaded that I'm very excited to try out. But MW2 Intel over on Twitter a while back via the leaked files in game said that apparently Sharif Bay has a 6v6 variant in the game files, and it could potentially be coming in a future season, probably not Season 2, but maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 if we end up seeing that, as one of those new 6v6 maps, quote unquote new, even though it's just a recycled piece of content from the Sharif Bay Ground War map. We just had that database breach / leak a few days back that we talked about that said we're gonna see 7 guaranteed new 6v6 maps between seasons 3, 4, and 6. 5 wasn't included in there, so we're not really sure if that is actually Season 6's content, just rebranded as Season 5, or what the deal is. But regardless, that could be one of those 7, which is kind of disappointing to hear. I want the most amount of unique maps possible to debut in these future seasons, and not recycled maps from other parts of the game or remastered maps from old CODs. That should just be additional content and not marketed as quote unquote new, but that's a potential for one of these new seasonal maps in an upcoming seasonal update. All that being said, definitely some interesting news surfacing today. That's going to wrap things up though. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. It really does help grow the channel. And if you guys want to guarantee you're always up to date with everything going on between MW2, Warzone 2, and DMZ, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and join us on the road to 1 million subscribers. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.